Cello and Chussycat Doll are hiding an underlying secret that may just break our hearts in Bayonetta 3. We even translated the writings on our sword for you guys, and believe me, there is potentially a new revelation that'll culminate in Bayonetta 3's ending. Viola's first appearance is actually in this scene with Enzo, as you can see her purple nails in one frame. So if this is Viola, that would put the chronological timing of meeting Viola before the prologue cruise ship scene. Or maybe this could be Enzo's smoking hot wife. A big thank you to Maeve, one of the people in our Rakunity Discord, for sending this to me, you the real MVP. Let's just scratch the surface. Her interaction with Luka, especially when shown in slow motion, essentially gave away that she is the future daughter of Cereza and Luka. But is there a way to make this more interesting? It seems they are pulling some sort of future Trunks trope where she is from a dystopian future that she is trying to prevent. They both even wield a sword worn the same way and wear those heavy-duty jackets. While this encounter is a huge callback to Luka's first appearance, it also mirrors how Bayonetta met Rosa, as I'm sure Rosa knew who that futuristic-looking witch was, but didn't want to ruin anything in the space-time continuum, just like how Jiraiya knew with adult Sasuke. This is the very first time we get to see Viola's sword caught in 4K, which revealed that she has two offerdas. A huge thank you to Bayonetta, who helped me translate these two. You the real MVP as well, man. Both are written in Chinese characters, and when directly translated, say... and apricot flan. But thanks to Bayonetta, these are read in Japanese as Ambra for the dark paper, which was seen in the 2021 trailer, and Viola for the light paper. Now looking at Ambra, while it could just be a spelling difference for Ambra, Ambra is Italian for amber, but I don't think that's what this is talking about. When I thought about it, these two are what made me really suspicious of Viola, as offerdas are used for a sort of good luck or some sort of spiritual protection. Yet having her name and occupation on a sword seems quite out of place. Why would you blatantly pontificate your name and status if this was really your katana? Actually, the sword is the only thing that doesn't match her color palette, but it does match someone else's who's familiar. Remember that it's confirmed that we will be going to China in Bayonetta 3, and we got to see this Bella Porch looking witch. Bella Porch Bayo. Shoutouts to Vengeance, Ryder, Hispancakes, Arsene, and Mark. That's for you guys. It got me thinking, what if it's not a spelling mistake for Umbra? Yes, there have been Umbran witches, quote unquote, all over the world teased ever since Bayonetta 1, but that's looking from the perspective of Europe. There isn't a specific mention of saying these witches outside of Europe are Umbran witches. What if the moment we cross those continental borders, we finally get to interpret the exact dialect/translation? Similar to how Kingsmen were specific to the UK, while Statesmen were specific to the US. I theorized that this sword belonged to this golden witch, or at least witches from Asia. If this really isn't a spelling error for Umbra, could it be that if you were a witch from Europe, you'd be Ambra, if you were to derive it phonetically? Just like how some words, while they have the same meaning, are spelt slightly differently depending on the location. Kamusta, como estas? Color, color, gray and gray. Ambra, ambra. If the pattern continues, just for fun, you'd have ambra, ambra, oh. Well, so does that mean Europe is the only place where phonetically you'd spell it as Ambra? Barakan. So what? Well, why would Viola have someone else's katana? Could it be that she is secretly going through different timelines, killing different Cerezas, and these are her spoils? But what about the patches the same as Luka, the cat earrings like how Bayonetta wore them, her use of a grappling hook like Luka, her annoyance to getting her name wrong, and the slight hesitation in their encounter? It's what made me think. Either they messed up by teasing us with way too much, or they intentionally made it way too obvious in order to make it a red herring for what's really going on. It is quite contradictory if she is the love child between future Cereza and future Luka, since it's been confirmed, quote unquote, by Kamiya, that Bayonetta or Cereza only teases and picks on Luka due to his annoyance, and wouldn't commit to a romantic relationship with him as he would be long dead before her. If anyone can find the Twitter post, extract, or primary source to this, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm gonna see this as a secondary source for now. I'm gonna need some primary sources to see if this is true. All I know is that this is the case, I'm sure a huge part of the Bayo community will riot. Maybe he changed his mind during the past few years, or Does Viola have a secret agenda? By the way, I don't mind if it's Bayo and Luka getting together. I don't mind if it's John and Bayo. I don't care who ends up with who. It's not on my list of priorities to discuss about the game. I'm not a fucking 14-year-old My Hero Academia, Bakudeku BTS, Jungkook, Jimin, Oli London elitist when it comes to ships. Viola's Cheshire does have so many differences, and again, a huge thanks to Maeve for sending me this. Now that I see it, it does really look like a refurbished doll, having its eyes replaced and the new patchwork, which they even revealed in the 2021 trailer. It even has a new bell which transforms into what looks like those bells in ancient Chinese temples, covered in children's engravings of likely Cheshire, and Cheshire smoking a massive blunt. Smoke weed every day. But seriously, it seems like these engravings are what Cheshire can turn into, like this one, which shows the torture attack of Cheshire blazing it up while he slices the opponent with its long claws. So will we see Cheshire hold a massive weapon, or in fact become a dinosaur-like monster? We know that there will be a lot of Alice in Wonderland callbacks or themes that'll be prominent in Bayonetta 3. By the way, Viola is in Alice in Wonderland. Well, was. In 1915, there was a child actor who played Alice in the silent adaptation to it. Her name was Viola. Now, Viola Savoy was claimed to have been named after Viola from Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. In that story of gender bending and cross-dressing, Viola disguises herself as someone else. Now that was 3 layers into diving deep into the name Viola, but this sort of coincidence made me think, if they are going to make it blatantly obvious that this is the future child of Cereza and Luka trying to save the future from destruction, she's not really what the trailer portrayed her to be, or at least in the beginning. What if in her timeline or her future, her parents, Cereza and Luka, not our Bayonetta's one, not Brave Cereza's one, but a completely different timeline that we aren't aware of. A timeline out there where she is the daughter of Cereza and Luka. What if those two sacrificed their life to protect her from something, but she didn't know this at a very young age? This led to her life of neglect of being an orphan, which developed into a hatred and motive for killing other Cerezas. A complete inversion from what our Bayonetta felt with her mother. Hence the 2017 trailer and the blood moon symbolism above her. She travels the multiverse, or Alphaverse, to seek revenge, which is why Sigurd responds to John, responding to the name Viola with a comment on the Alphaverse. Could Viola be on some sort of blacklist for people who are aware of the Alphaverse, i.e. the Coven of Bayonettas or Sigurd himself? Her crusade is what potentially alerts the virtual Coven of Bayonettas. The homunculi are man-made bioweapons that are situated outside the realm of chaos, that protect it from multiversal threats like Viola. It's even possible she's the one who let them in, and they mistake the current humans in chaos for threats. In the 2022 trailer, she's putting on a facade that she is on our side, until the very end, when she loses control. I have to add, could her Umbran glyphs, breaking into beautiful cathedral shards, indicate that she hasn't fully mastered her Umbran powers yet, just like how John indicated?
Lesson 1. Carelessness will get your tail snipped.
And maybe this would turn into something much more disastrous. What if we didn't involve any multiverse or time travel or anything to break the hearts of Bayo-John shippers? You also have the theory that she was a successful human experiment where someone wanted to create their own army of advanced humans, seeing the Umbran witches as superior. This someone manipulated Loki, who then manipulated Balder into genociding the Umbran witches into taking their blood. The blood was then going to be used and transfused with potential human test subjects, which led to the birth of the second generation Umbran witch. The humanoid golden statues that we see in Bayonetta 1 are potentially this person's technology. Shoutouts to you Token Cast for seeing these two similarities. This human experiment theory involves no cliche parental time travel tropes, no multiverse, no breaking the hearts of Bayo-John shippers, and no singular timeline easy fixes. But realistically, there are so many hints to her being the future child of a future Cereza and Luka, which is the most straightforward and Occam's razor-like scenario. But a part of me wants to believe that she's got a hidden agenda, where we might even have to kill our future daughter. I'm Rakun, and never get disheartened.